Look, if there's one thing to be upset about last week, it is how abysmal we were in the run game. We didn't run the football enough, and Terrence Williams says enough of that. Terrence Williams, winning coach Mervin McMervin, said, look, if we're going to come out here and get a W this week, we have got to be out here running the football. And look at Ben Williams. Look at him. This squad is so unbelievably talented, but we just didn't really give ourselves the opportunity to win that game like we should have. And look at this. Luckily, no one caught that. This squad, though, was ready to get things going here. Williams again, dropping back. Sees the guy underneath, gonna throw that one to Mr. Wilson, who gets 3. Ben Williams obviously coming in, didn't really have a great look in the previous week. He's trying to come out here with a much better look so far this week, and it's looking great. Williams getting the big blocks he needs, makes a nice move, and he's down to nearly the 20. Joe Kendrick in the backfield with Williams this time. Nice little play fake. He's rolling out. He's got an opportunity, doesn't really see anything he likes, but dumps one off here. Clark's gonna pick up a big gain, and he's down inside the 5. Establishing that run game early has been huge so far for Cascade Valley. Kendrick's gonna get this carry here, goes in the end zone completely untouched, and just like that, Cascade Valley's on the board. Purdue, defense has been a liability at certain points this season. Let's see how much better they are this week. They've had a little bit more time to game plan. They know this Purdue team. They played them multiple times before, but right now all these missed tackles ain't looking good. Holman trying to get in that backfield, gets picked up pretty quick. They hand back off to Busby. We cannot let a dude named Busby come out here and do this to us, and look what he's doing. Too much. Quarterback in the backfield by himself right now. Goes for a carry this time. Are you kidding me? Purdue is trying to establish that run early. We've definitely seen this Purdue team a whole lot of times. Pearson's the guy we're familiar with. They go with the run handoff here, but Holman's all over that one for loss of 1. Holman getting his first tackle of the game there. You love to see it. It was a tackle for loss. Houston trying to bring a little bit of pressure here. They throw one to a guy wide open. We have no one over there, and they pick up the first because of it. Can this team finally stop what this Purdue offense is trying to do? They go with a little read option. Get a big hit on them. Carlisle's going to stand up. Hill pushes the back. Shackelford literally might have done an illegal tackle, but it counted. We've seen some people in the media, aka the comments recently, talking about how they don't think a 6'6" safety could work. Jonah Shackelford is an All-American. Put some respect on that man's name. Oh, look at Houston with a good stop. 3rd and inches. Trying to get a stop here. They opt to go for the pass. We got guys screaming. What a play by Kendall Johnson to get in there. That should have been a sack multiple times, but Johnson stands up and says, you know what? I'm going to block it. So what would have been a guaranteed first down is now ended up being 4th and inches for Purdue to go ahead and kick a field goal. They line up. That one is going to be good, but you know what? It could have been a whole lot more points. We'll absolutely take the 3, and we're seeing that Penn State gets a shocker of a loss against Minnesota. Are you kidding me? The run game was a big part, and I think we didn't really do a good job of establishing it in the previous week, but sometimes you get in that chuck it mode when you're just sort of losing and you start thinking, I got to pass more. Terrence Williams, though, has been looking so far so good in this game at the moment. You got to love what he's doing. Williams feeling that pressure. Has a guy, doesn't want to throw it. He immediately gets rid of it. He had a guy deep, but again, didn't have time to get rid of it. Well, 2nd and 10. Williams has been pretty good so far. 32 yards on a couple of rushes, but this time Purdue was ready for it. Big 3rd down and 10. Squad a little nervous. Williams though gets hit as he tries to get rid of that one. It's a loss of 10, and we got to go ahead and punt. One of our biggest fears this week is that we come out, we have a great offensive drive the first time, and then after that, we sort of fall by the wayside. We cannot afford to do that. We have to come up here on defense and set the tone of just keeping pressure on them nonstop, and what a way to jar that ball loose. 2nd and 10, they bring a guy in the backfield. Little misdirection there, but they do get a good gain of 6. Our guys need to stop here playing the pass the whole way right now. Quarterback taking his time. Throws one and it's completely errant. We're going to see that be an incomplete pass and maybe a punt. Now they do come out with a great little punt. We've got the ball right back. Throwing this one. You've got to be kidding me. He jumps that route perfectly. 2nd down and 10 here. Williams sees a guy. Quickly gets rid of that. Porter Ryan's going to get a first down. Right back here to Terrence Williams. We're going to get that first again. He can't quite get anything other than 2. Not everything's going to be a big gain, and we got to obviously realize that, but this team also has got to step up and make some plays from time to time. And right now it's Ben Williams trying to scramble for a little bit. He gets 1. Huge play here at 3rd and 7. Can we get a little conversion? It's been a little tough. He throws that one. The receiver doesn't come in front. And Purdue's got the ball in prime territory. Purdue feeling all the momentum right now. Pearson with his running back in the backfield. Immediately takes off here. We got Shackelford coming up, and he's going to make a good tackle to stop him after 6. Blitzing a lot of guys here. What a big hit by Christoph Houston. Massive play. We know we obviously got a pass coming here into the first quarter. They go deep. Christoph Houston completely loses track of it, but luckily he was out of bounds. The run game started incredibly strong, and since then it's been not so great. Only 7 points for us there in the first quarter. We're obviously trying to pick things up a little bit here, and Williams finally gets a solid gain of 6. Williams makes an adjustment here in 2nd and 4. Sees the blitz coming. Got a guy going off the top here, throws it up. Good Lord, this man's got a lame duck for an arm. That should have been a touchdown. Fuller would have made that happen. Clark had an absolute incredible route run there, was completely beating the defense, blew their coverage absolutely, and then he just couldn't get anything in his return because that ball was thrown underneath by 20 yards. And at this stage, where luckily that wasn't actually picked because it absolutely should have been with the way things went. Williams feels a little bit of pressure, is able to escape that, gets himself all the way down to the first down and does get that. Kendrick in the backfield. We're seeing the safeties creep up a little bit. Ryan slides over as well in the back. Nice little fake here. Williams is going to pitch it out. Looks for a block. Furtney had no idea who to block and didn't do anything. If Furtney makes that block, Porter Ryan is still running at this point, probably celebrating the end zone at some point soon, but instead nothing. And look at Kendrick with a nice little shimmy. After a little breather, see Williams come back in, gets a good block there. Furtney apparently knows how to block on this play, and he's going to see a huge gain because of it. 16 yards for Williams. With the run game working like this, we're cycling running backs in and out to make sure these guys are fresh, and we are pushing this tempo down the field. Both of those guys could be starters on different teams, and you're seeing them step up huge. Williams trying to get out to the corner, turns up a little bit, gets met though, and he only has 2 to make it a big third down. Safety kind of creeping up. Williams under center. Sees Kendrick out of the backfield. It's thrown a little too early, and Kendrick can't pick it up. It's got to be a field goal. Big opportunity for our kicker to go ahead and knock one in. This one should be relatively easy for him. Bailey has been money all career long, and he hits another good one there to put us up 7. 5 minutes left here in the first half. Purdue's had a solid drive going so far. They're trying to cap it off here with some points. No pressure on the quarterback. He throws a dot down the middle. It's Shackelford who comes up with the tackle, and they're in field goal range already. Sometimes you just wonder where your guys ultimately are in coverage, and they were just nowhere to be found there. A big hole found by Busby. Goes through. Hill's going to be the guy to stop him, but it's 17 yards too late. Christoph Houston had fantastic penetration there through that line, but it was just the wrong gap that he shot through, and we paid because of it. Houston stays in coverage here. They got a lot of guys they're targeting. They go deep in the corner. It's no one there, and Kellen Martin gets a 7-yard touchdown. They're tying this game up. Blown coverage assignment, but honestly, that's not on Shackelford. He had 2 different receivers he was trying to control in that area, and honestly, at some point, you got to look at the other guys in the team and say, where were they in terms of their coverage assignments? Purdue looks to come out with a lot more of an emphasis on stopping this run at the moment. Nice pass here to Mr. Wilson, who gets a first down of 11 yards. Dominating in terms of first downs, but it's just not been a good game for us overall. Ben Williams, picking up almost the first, and they say he's down about 2 yards shy. A little over 3 minutes left. Right here to Williams, who again is fighting for these yards. We've run the wide receiver option a little bit here today. It's been really good. We're going to try to pick up some more yards here. Williams has an opportunity, gets this one out to Mr. Wilson. Mr. Wilson looking for a block here. Can McDonald turn around? He doesn't, and Wilson gets 23 despite of it. First down under center again for Williams. Sees the pressure. No one's on the running back. Williams with some room here, breaks the tackle after the juke, loses footing, but gets 7. Kendrick comes in because obviously Terrence Williams has run the ball, caught the ball. He's done a whole lot of these last couple of plays in this drive. Kendrick sees a nice lane, cuts up, and he's inside the 5 after a 14-yard gain. Inside the 5 again, Furtney slides over, comes back. You get a good block here for Kendrick, who is in the end zone. His second rushing touchdown of the game, and good Lord, we needed that one. What is this team in Cascade Valley made of? Can they come out here, put some pressure on this Purdue team, and get a stop? With a massive tackle there by Christoph Houston, can we get another good play here on second down? Purdue goes a little check down Charlie, and that one's going to be incomplete. Big time players make big time plays. We need some pass rush. We need some great coverage right now. It's like a halfback screen. We whiff on that one. Rutledge and company are there, but they do get enough for the first. We know they're pass happy right now with 1:30 some left. They're going to keep that movement going. They throw one. We got guys there, but they refuse to jump, but it's batted away. This snow has guys slipping and sliding left and right, and they're just not able to get their footing and really go up and get those balls. This one's thrown here. What a play by Jaquez Ness to stop him. Big play. Looking for something. They throw one deep. Coleman gets burnt, and Hancock picks up 20. Purdue is finding way after way to put points on the board. And it's absolutely disgusting. Shackelford nearly has the tip, but it's still caught. That loss last week is starting to haunt us right now. You cannot let teams stay close in a game like this, especially a rivalry game. We've got to do better. They throw one. Shackelford's deep, and he nearly has it. If this man had more than 6 fingers, that's going to be a pick. Still, the ability for that 6'6" safety that some of you didn't like to make a play like that is monstrous. We need a big stop here. 3rd and 7. Purdue has been killing us on these. They go underneath. We got guys. That should be a big one. We're going to call the timeout. They got to kick a field goal here. Needing the crowd to step up a little bit. This is kind of a deep field goal. Does their kicker have enough leg on this one? Guys try to get up. This one's going. That one's got plenty of leg. It is going to go in, and they've cut the lead to 4 with 41 seconds left. Our guys know we need a big sort of play here. This one is called by Mr. Wilson, who's got some room. He's going to break the first tackle, and he's down after 23. We're trying to save our timeouts, getting quickly to the line, but honestly, we took a little bit too much more time than we really wanted here. Williams sees a guy, floats one. He's got him. That's going to be Furtney. Furtney's going to the 5. He's going to go all the way in. Furtney, 52 yards later, is in the end zone, and ladies and gentlemen, we got that lead extended. Going into halftime, we got an 11-point lead thanks to that major touchdown. Enjoy this halftime update. It's a good one. Welcome to the halftime show. We've had a pretty entertaining game so far against the Purdue Spoiler Makers, but we're trying to make sure that doesn't happen this week. But Couple big recruiting updates. Obviously, with this being week number 10, we got a lot of big recruits coming to campus. You can see Jeremiah Butler, Reggie Wilson, Will Scott, Keyshawn Anderson, a lot of big players that are coming to campus to try to make sure this is a university for them. Now, Jeremiah Butler is a stud, and so far, so good. We're ahead by Kentucky from 935 points. We have his visit this week. I think as long as we finish this game out strong, we should be all right. And as a reminder for him, we need 250 passing yards. Obviously, beating a rival team and beating a conference team should help us out significantly. Bull Dunlap is it's a touchy subject. This is a dude that I know could be a big time player for us, but it's a little rocky at the moment. We obviously did our visit week 1, which worked out really well for us, but right now, University of Miami's at the top. We're seeing Army at number 2, and we're still behind by 500 plus points. We need some help. Reggie Wilson's looking good. We're up. We got him visiting this week, so this should be pretty much a lock for him. We got Will Scott visiting this week as well. He's up 190 points week over week with 130 down behind the Mountaineers. I think we'll be okay. But his challenges are a lot more different. 4 spotted passes, 2 interceptions, beating a rival team and beating a conference team. Keyshawn Anderson is going to be a stud if we can just land this dude, but this should help us out significantly. We're down 1,000 points. His visit this week should bump us up at least past Indiana. Probably not going to be past Wisconsin, but we still should be in a good spot. Really, the goal with him is just making sure that we're up enough points that by week 13, Indiana doesn't usurp and go right past us. I think we'll be number 1 by the time that time gets there, but it's just having a cushion in front of Indiana is huge. But for him, 2 sacks with a linebacker, beating a rival, and a conference team are all big things. Nasir Graham is progressing pretty good. Darren Pollard, again, progressing pretty well as well. We're not offering him really anything until we get a little bit closer to the 2 or the 1 spot. John Phelps is a solid tackle who we're right in the driver's seat for. Leviticus Williams, 700. We actually went down a couple of points, so we went ahead and put more points on him, but I think we'll ultimately be good. It'll be a tough bout against Cincinnati, but again, this dude has got really good against Penn State, so we want to make sure we put as much stuff as we can. I think we can get there. And then one of the last ones to talk about is Keyshawn Brooks, a 77 overall tackle who we just recently found. If you look at him, +9, an absolute gem. Great pass block, great impact blocking, great strength and acceleration. This dude could be a starter by year 2, in my opinion. Again, we've got some work to be done, but we'll get him a visit and sort of an offer here soon. And just to recap our recruiting, we are sitting at number 2. We were number 1 for a little bit. We bumped back to number 2. We've always been sort of top 3 for the last couple of weeks, but we have 1 5-star, 8 4-stars, 2 3-stars, and we got 11 overall. Juice Dawson being our lone 5-star at this point. Lanier, Gibson, Allen, May. You can see the list. A lot of studs. We obviously talked about it at length in the beginning of the video, but Warren Forward is still out 1 additional week. After this Purdue game, we should have this dude back healthy. Let's just make sure we get the W. And obviously Warren Forward had 1 bad game that sort of bumped him down, and a couple of weeks were sort of rocky with the injury and everything that's happened there. But still, I think he could get back on this list at some point as maybe a nod, but really not a guy that's going to win it this year considering he's missing so much time. Right now, Miami's Ben Powell is the top guy on this list. 85 overall. This redshirt junior threw for 245 yards, 49 rushing yards, and 4 total touchdowns. I feel like our guy's better still. And to give you a look lastly, the top 25, you see Clemson, LSU moved up 4 spots. Boise State moved up 2. Texas A&M moved up 6 spots. Washington goes up 8 now in the top 5. And you see where we ultimately went from 2 to 8, losing against USC, who's now ranked number 21 in the nation. It honestly could have been worse. Am I upset? Yes. Should we have won that game? We played horrible. The game planning was terrible. But this week has got to be different. Now, Purdue struggled a little bit coming out of the gate here for the second half, and they've given the ball right back here to Cascade Valley. And Terrence Williams says, feed me the rock. He's averaging a little over 7 yards per carry. He's been really, really good, I think, today. We just need him to get a little bit more blocks, and honestly, he's gone. Well, first down again here. See him out of the backfield. Williams trying to make another play, gets hit hard. Joe Kendrick comes in relief. He's been so fantastic today. 2 rushing touchdowns in the afternoon. He just finds gaps and shoots through them. Getting any sort of points on this drive would just be what we absolutely need. This team has been through the ringer this season. Close game after close game. We need to extend this. Second down and 8 here. Williams takes a little bit of time. Doesn't see anything that he loves, and he's going to go and he's going to slide, which is important. Third down conversions have been terrible for us. 2 for 5 in the afternoon, but we have 3rd and inches because Williams apparently did not get the last little bit there. And neither does Terrence Williams. They say 4th and 2. This is a big decision. Coach Mervin McMervin has been known to be a bit of a risk taker. Here in 4th and 2. He's going to opt to go for that one. They say that McDonald got 3, and that's all he needed. McDonald's first catch was a huge one because it keeps this drive alive and keeps the pressure on Purdue. Their defense is tired. They're gasping for air. They desperately want to get off this field. And all of a sudden, Terrence Williams says, hold on a second. I'm still here, and I'm refreshed. I'm getting in the end zone 38 yards later. It wasn't that long ago that Purdue had this game tied up, but all of a sudden you're starting to see the lemon booty is creeping in. Can they come out here and make some plays to stop this offensive explosion we've had and put some points back on our defense? This defense needs a little bit more confidence, man. They're almost there. They just need to keep that going and have a really good drive. But what a hit by George Fry. Playing the pass, we got to watch Pearson to run, though. He's obviously got some dangerous speed. They throw one here, and Rex is able to get the first. 3 now is definitely what we shot for there, but it just wasn't meant to be. Purdue keeps finding ways, stay relevant here, keeping this offense going. The quarterback flicks one out the last second. Shackelford is literally hunting heads. Defense creeps up a little bit on 2nd and 6. We're trying to find some gaps. The quarterback again keeps it. He throws a couple of guys by the wayside, and Pearson stumbles for 9. Pearson's doing what he can to stay relevant. We got to sit in the QB spy at the moment. He goes for another one. Houston this time is able to meet him after 3. Houston's had a great game on defense. He's up to 7 tackles, 2 for a loss this afternoon. Holman trying to shoot in on the blitz. They go with the run. Big-time players making big-time plays. Everybody cued in on the quarterback, though, and it ends up not being a good decision as Busby goes for 15. We would have loved to see George Fry go more for the outside and not crash in, because when he crashed in, obviously all things crashed down for us. And look at Pearson continue to push the tempo on the ground. All we're trying to do is just stop this run game, because it's been the one thing keeping them alive. They're throwing one deep, and James Mitchell says, oh, you ain't getting that anywhere close. Playing the pass again here. Pearson is absolutely gassed. If he tries to go for a run again, he's probably going to be in trouble. They throw one, and Kendall Johnson, who's been great today, can't quite get there in time. Things you don't love to see this. Pearson moves up. They go with something. He tries to go in the end zone. This man literally stumbles into the end zone backwards. Purdue's back in this ball game. Still an 11-point lead. We obviously want to make sure we keep the pressure on Purdue. So we want to keep this run game looking solid, but that defensive tackle made a great play. Joe Kendrick comes in the backfield to be here with Williams. Little halfback screen looks pretty solid. The setup is looking good. Kendrick, though, can't quite find enough and does get 5. 3rd down, 4 yards to go. Williams makes a small adjustment here. You're seeing him panic a bit. He has to get rid of this one. A couple of guys maybe could have went to, but it just wasn't worth the risk of turning this ball over. We have to go ahead and let our defense do their job. Picking up here with Purdue, and they got a big 3rd down and 7. We're playing the pass the whole way, but we got a QB spy because we know what Pierce has been able to do today. Pearson throws an absolute dot. Jaquez has to goes off his helmet, but it's a big 4th down. Purdue is in shambles. Clark has had moments where he's been pretty solid in the punt return game, but haven't quite seen what we really need to see from him for him to show that he is the punt return guy for the future. Clark's in the field one. Looks to get to the outside. Oh, he's got some blocking here. Maybe it's a special team just needed a block for this young man. He cuts it back. That's what we want to see from Jalen Clark. 30 yards later, we got a prime time position. The run game didn't look great in the last drive. We're going to try to pick things back up here and see what we can get. Williams doing what he can, shimmies for about 7. Williams and Kendrick have both been great in their own respective rights. Kendrick more so in those goal line situations. Williams out here in the open field is making big plays, and look at the young fella trying to get in there. They say he's down at the 1. You've got to be kidding me. Just give it to him. Kendrick comes in. Obviously, you feel bad for Williams, but he was so close to ripping off a huge one. The man literally has an oxygen tank on the sidelines. Kendrick goes up. He's going to go in, I believe his 3rd rushing touchdown of the game, and that made things real interesting for Purdue. 7 minutes on the clock. Obviously, they're in a pass-happy situation. What are we going to see? We're going to see Kendall Johnson pick one off. He's had so many close plays today. He's going to try to get into the house. They push him out of the 10, but look at the young fella making plays. Purdue's coach was not happy with the quarterback there. He threw a lazy one, lofted it up way too high, and we ended up getting that one. I was so happy to even have the webcam on. That's how happy we were right there. Look at Williams getting down to the 1-yard line again. And although he didn't get a touchdown in the previous drive, he gets another opportunity here. Williams gets his 2nd rushing touchdown of the game, and it feels great. A 25-point lead. This feels like vintage Cascade Valley. Getting offensive plays done. Getting the defense absolutely step up and make some plays. You love to see how this team is going. And Jonas Shackle for 6 fingers, but he got all of them on the ball. We've said it so much over the course of Cascade Valley's 9 years now. Big-time players make big-time plays. And when you see a guy like Shackelford, when you see a guy like Kendall Johnson, when you see those guys like that step up and make plays, it warms your heart. Coach Mervin McMervin has built this program off just simply making sure that you get the job done, that you make sure that you're there to make plays like this dude Neal just made, and all of a sudden, what was a 25-point lead is going to be cut down. Inspirational speech has been halted. Purdue's back. Let's just say the last play was not so great. Coach Mervin will talk about that one in the film room, but maybe that was a bad play call that didn't really work out. But you know what? We're going to keep it simple. Terrence Williams is trying to etch his name into the record books in Cascade Valley with being one of the few players in school history to rush for 200 yards in a single game, and he's knocking on the doorstep. Derwin did it. Barr did it. Few have been able to do what you've seen these guys do. And honestly, if we get him a couple more carries, Williams might be there. Our goal right now, though, honestly, is just to get back in the end zone and show that this game's over and done with. Because right now, Purdue has a little bit too much wiggle room, and we don't like that at all. After a great carry by Kendrick, See Williams come right back in the game, looks for some room here, gets inside the 5 with a 4-yard gain. And on 2nd and goal, we go right back to him. He's going to go up the middle. He gets tackled, but they say he's not in. Excuse me, in what country? So with Williams again, getting an oxygen mask on the side, we go to Kendrick here. Kendrick up the middle, gets barely touched. I believe 4 times the end zone for Joe Kendrick today with under 50 rushing yards. Crazy. And that's going to do it. What was a close game at one point ends up being 52-27. This team came out there and played some major games, and Williams honestly played the game. We saw some great ones from Williams, but this throw really changed the game. Player of the game, though, none other than Terrence Williams. 223 in the ground, 2 rushing touchdowns, 37 through the air. The dude was an absolute stud. Recapping the game stats, Ben Williams was there. I think he did a pretty good job of managing the game. We had a big mistake. He had a really bad throw later on, but ultimately I think he did a pretty solid job. On the ground, Williams again absolutely killed it. Kendrick had 4 rushing touchdowns and 69 yards, #nice, but 6 total touchdowns between our top 2 running backs is a giant W to me. In the air, we see Williams go for 37 yards, leading us there, tied with absolutely Matt Wilson. We see a big grab by Fernie, which led to a touchdown. But the rest of the guys, they're kind of hoping Warren Fullwood comes back to get a little bit more passing action. And then Christoph Houston was, I think, great today on defense. Maybe shot the gap, maybe wrong once or twice, but overall, 7 total tackles, 2 of those for a loss. Shackelford was great too. Ness was as well. Interception-wise, we had 2 big ones today. Shackelford using all 6 fingers. We see Kendall Johnson getting a 26-yard gainer as well. What I want to see, though, more of is sacks. We had nobody really get in the backfield today, and that was really difficult. If we can get pressure on the quarterback, it leads to more bad throws and more turnovers. There's our guys playing so much better. But when they don't, you get games that are kind of rocky, especially like that first half. Be safe, be smart, tell somebody you love them. Catch you guys in the next one.